Hi there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm putting together my project life process video for the week of June 19th through June 24th, 2023, and I'm working with the Explore Story Kit. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay guys, diving into this week here. So this week I'm working with the Explore Story Kit, and I had planned on this in the Story Kit classroom for the Explore Story Kit, where I sorted out the kit and planned some projects, and one of them was this project life spread. So I decided to use this kit for this week because my daughter was graduating high school, and I thought that that would be a really good theme for a high school graduation that wasn't like super obvious. I guess it's not like a travel week, which I think is kind of the obvious theme for Explore, or, you know, an outdoorsy week like camping or hiking. So instead I decided to use it for this spread here. And I'm just kind of going through my photos and figuring out where everything is going to go. So this week started on the Monday we had off, or I had off, because it was Juneteenth, and we hosted a party for my daughter to have her friends over to decorate their grad caps. And then, let's see, I might want this one over here. Then, of course, her high school graduation was on Friday, which was a big piece of the story. And during the week, what else did I do? Just a bunch of little things that I want to journal about. Now, I definitely want one of these photos over here. And just trying to talk through this and think through it at the same time. Her graduation was on Friday night, which was obviously the biggest thing that happened this week. So I have all of these photos from graduation. I picked this card that says Go Farther. I'm going to journal about the graduation on there. I have this filler card, which I thought would be good for that. And then, let's see. I think this one could be good for just like random stories this week. And then this one for her party. I do want to use this pattern for my title card here. So I'm going to go ahead and crop that out. And then I might use it also for the background of some of these other cards. So the week after this, we went on a road trip to Montreal, and we left on Sunday. So I created the next spread is the time that we were in Montreal. So it's not a perfect week. I do that in my project life. Although I do it weekly, I do adjust the dates for my weeks depending on specific events that are going on. I think that I want to use this, even though you're not really going to be able to read it. I think it will still be like a fun pattern to use for the backs of these photos, to back these photos with. So anyways, this week is a shorter week. It's only 6 days because I cut the Monday out to include, or the Sunday out to include in the next week, because that was our travel day. I did pack my bag though, and I have this picture of my cat. And I wanted to include it because there was this pack-a-bag thing in the kit. And then I have this like today's adventure one, which I'm thinking would go good on there. And then Say Yes. I'm not entirely sure. I think I was going to put this like on here. So this photo here is actually two photos that I collaged together in Photoshop. There's one of my daughter here, and then this is one that I took. And I thought this was funny because it might be hard for you guys to see, but this is kind of the view of the stage from where I was sitting. And this is her walking across the stage, and see this guy taking her photo here. This is that photo that he's taking at this point in time. So I thought that was super fun that I captured the moment he took this photo, and then I can tell from that photo. So I had put it right here so you can kind of see them both, and I can include them both in one 4x6 pocket. So I think I like that there, but I don't know that I want all of these across the bottom. So I think I'm going to put this one up here. And then this one is a photo with all of her friends I took. And then here's one that like the professional photographer had taken that actually ended up on the school's Instagram account for their graduation. You can see her hat that she decorated here. Here's one of me and her. that I want to put up here. And then let's see, I need a pattern for the behind that one. I guess my concern with this one is I won't want that next to this card. So I'll probably have to rearrange these a little bit. So if I put this like that, I think I'm gonna put these like this because this goes with this. And then this goes with that story. So maybe I'll put this one here for other random little stories. Okay, so I like that. It's very basic and simple. I don't have a ton going on. I'm thinking that the pictures are so busy because there's so many faces. There's so many people like posing and smiling and in all these photos. Like this is really the only kind of calm photo I feel like in this entire spread. So I don't want to go too busy with the embellishments, but I'm thinking maybe some word phrase strips for my stash. I can do some like stacks of like 3 or 4 of them. So I'm probably going to go pull some word phrase strips from my stash. I'm going to pull out a label to put on here for my title card to stamp my dates. And then I'm going to go ahead and start putting this one together. Okay, so the first thing I usually do, and I did here, is put my title card together. So I just put a label sticker that was from the Paper Person shop on there, and then I used the rolling date stamp to add the dates. I moved on to this photo that is of the tabletop for a party that I hosted for my daughter with a bunch of her friends to decorate their graduation caps. For their graduation was on Friday this week. So this happened on the Monday. And I added that little piece from the kit that says today's adventure onto that photo, and I stapled it down with my tiny attacher. And then I decided I wanted to use some alpha stickers to add the word party on it. And I really love how it turned out. I pulled out all of these white ones from my stash that are from Ali Edwards. And once I put them on there, I feel like some of them are a little bit thicker than others and that they're not all the exact same font or alphas, but it's close enough and I didn't want to like stress myself out trying to keep them separate. And this way I can actually like write more words, because if you have just one sheet of alpha stickers, it runs out pretty quickly of whatever letter you need, and then you can't really write things. So I like that I just kind of mix these together and I'm able to get some words out of it. I had pulled some word phrase strips out of my stash in white and pink, partially because this kit had pink in it, and partially because that is my daughter's favorite color, and this spread is pretty much just about her. So I liked the ability to bring in that pink for her on this spread. This card right here that says a little story, I'm using this to journal about the party that was on Monday. And you could see that 4x6 card was from that, or 4x6 photo, I mean. And then I also printed a smaller photo next to that, which I had backed on the Explore paper in my little intro section that I was doing live with you. Or not live, but in real time. And I like that the ability to connect that Explore paper in multiple places on the paper, even though you can't really read it except for on the title card. I like that there's that uniformity. And in a spread like this, when you have so many photos, it really helps to kind of break up the spread by printing some of the photos smaller than the pocket and matting them on paper to just give the spread a little bit of a break from photos and so many photos. Especially a spread like this where all of the photos are of people's faces. So I don't know what it is, but when a lot of the photos have people in them, they are just much busier. And I think it's because of just the way that we perceive people versus other things. We look at their faces and there's just more information for us to get from them. So when you have all these photos like this with all of these groups of people, it just makes the spread very busy. So a way to break that up is to print the photos smaller than the pocket and add some pattern paper in there so that's just not face after face after face. So on this card here, it says, today I explored, and I'm using this to create a bullet point list. I'm using my Zig dot marker in I think it's called Platinum Gray, and then I'm just adding some little I don't know what those are called. They're little triangle marks on each one with my pen, and then journaling about just various things that happened this week that weren't in the 2 larger stories that I had going on. The card that says a little story about the party, and then the one on the right-hand side that says go farther is going to be about graduation. So this was about all the other stories from that week. And I know that the title of the card says today I explored. I didn't really follow that title. I'm just kind of using it very loosely to write out random things that were going on this week. And that's just a reminder that you don't have to use the supplies literally. If it doesn't fit exactly perfect, that's okay. You can just go with what you feel and write and make it work for you. Pumpkin decided to sit right there, so I decided to slip all of these cards on the left-hand side into the pockets, even though I wasn't done with the whole spread, just because his tail was moving everything around. And I don't know if you have a cat, you probably noticed, just like me, that they're not very aware of what their tail is doing, and so often his tail will just be moving everything and wreaking havoc, and he is just totally unaware. So I pulled this tray out from my chipboard organization. And if you're unfamiliar with my chipboard organization system, I have that system in another video that I can link. I will link right at the eye right now in the top corner if you're interested. But basically what that box was were all of the ones that are like congratulations, self-care, one little word related, and like motivational type things. And I lumped all of those together by theme because I thought that they worked really well together. And I was able to pull out one that said, "Oh, cheering you on always," and put it on the photo of me and my daughter. So it was a good way to use up some of those chipboard pieces in my stash, even though they aren't from this kit specifically. I already had these alpha stickers out from that first photo, and I like to repeat something over more than once on a spread, any type of treatment that I do, because it just makes the spread more cohesive. So I decided to write graduation with the alphas on this photo of my daughter and a bunch of her friends right after graduation. And I put a word phrase strip underneath it, which is just like what I did on the one that says party. And so they kind of go together a bit more. This photo here of my daughter and some of her friends, I adhered down onto this piece of paper and added some washi, just like I had done on the other photo. So you can just see me repeating the same kind of formula on multiple photos. Those two photos that are cropped smaller than 3x4 are on the Explore paper with a piece of washi and some word phrase strips, 3 word phrase strips in the 3 different colors that I'm using. The 4x6 photos have a similar but different treatment where they have the large word with the alpha stickers and 1 large word phrase strip. So I think that that is just a good reminder that even if you're using a formula for your pockets, you can kind of vary it from pocket to pocket and maybe have a couple that match one formula and a couple that match another. You can also see on the party photo, I do have that circle from the kit, but I don't have one for the graduation photo, and that's totally fine. It works well. I do have some other circles from the kit that I included on some of the other photos. There's the one that says pack a bag on the photo of my cat packing himself, because anytime I pull out the suitcase, he goes right into it, and I wanted to document that. And then the photo at the very top of my daughter graduating, I have the circle that says say yes, and I put that on there. And I also included some word phrase strips to kind of differentiate between the 2 photos that I had collaged on there digitally. I'm doing my journaling here about the graduation, and it's just about the whole day. So the ceremony, my daughter going to the dress rehearsal in the morning, and us going out to dinner and everything. And then I pulled back out the same chipboard piece or tray, and I pulled out one that says, "Only in the darkness can you see the stars," which is a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. I thought it was very beautiful on this card, and I liked it kind of breaking up the title and my text. The quote is not exactly on point, but I think it works, and so I'm happy that I included it. And that concludes this spread. It kind of came together pretty quickly. I'm really happy with how it came out. Here's a look at that final project. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And I am so thankful that you are here. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.